So, Manuel, could you introduce yourself and could you present briefly what Courbet is about?
Okay, so I'm Manuel Mallen, I'm 53, and I co-founded with Marianne Bagmeister, my partner, Swedish designer, the first ecological jewelry brand of the Place Vendôme, Courbet. So what does it mean? In few words, we only use recycled gold coming from computers, phones. It's called human minds. And we only use laboratory-grown diamonds, cultured diamonds.
Well, laboratory-grown diamond, is it a luxury? Can you tell a bit more about what is this diamond and why you've been stepping away from natural mined diamond?
Yeah, the biggest hole made by men in the world are mined diamonds. My best advertising is you go on internet, type diamond mines, and you will see what it means. And the fact is that a diamond, it's carbon. Carbon put under high pressure and high temperature, it crystallizes and become a diamond. So we are doing exactly the same thing that has been done million years ago in the earth, and we are doing it in a laboratory.
But are you doing it in any laboratory, or are you sourcing locally the type of diamond that you could propose?
In fact, today there's no diamond manufacturers in France for the moment, but we are working on this, and I hope at the end of the year we will have the first one in the south of France, in the Pays Basque. But today we know that to make diamond, it needs a lot of energy, a lot of power, and so we are sourcing where is the greenest power we can have, and so it's in Russia. Because in St. Petersburg, the manufacture of diamond is done with hydraulic power, and in the US, because it's made with solar energy.
And are those diamonds that are coming from lab grown are exactly the same as the natural diamond? Do they have the same certificate?
It's exactly the same. In general, I used to say, when people are a bit afraid about that, I say, okay, it's the same difference between the mined diamond and the lab-grown diamond than between an in vitro baby and a baby. So it's the same. Okay? Okay, so we're right. No, it's really this. And it comes with the same certificates than the others, because there are diamonds. So the Gemological Institute, which are independent, they give us the same certificate.
Talking about this certificate, I think it's interesting to note that often we believe that when we buy a diamond from any high-end jewelry brands, the certificates will say that it's, I don't know, slavery-free or it's environmental-free. But today the certificate is only on 4 dimensions, which is the colors, let's help me on the how to say the clarity and the carats. So far, when we look at natural diamonds, what we have to keep in mind is that it's coming from a mine and then it's distracting the biodiversity. So that's why you step away from this sourcing this material. And in regards of gold, what has been your decision? What was the sourcing strategy that you implemented?
In fact, for gold, we already know that there is more gold above the earth than under. So we just try to recycle it. And the fact is that in Courbet, we like the way to unify some different aspects: technology, ecology, luxury, digital, and what we think it's smart that this gold coming from these computers, from these phones, and so on, this diamond coming from a laboratory, it goes to a craftsman that is for 4 generations doing the same thing, and that's interesting.
So you've been recycling the gold. When you recycle it, do you trace it, or how do you make sure that the recycled that you've got is not coming from, I don't know, fake sources of recycled gold? Because if we work in the industry, we know that it's a subject as well to
Yeah,
get.
yeah, yes, you're right. And the fact is, I was wondering at the beginning why the other brands are not doing recycled gold, this kind of recycled gold, and I find the answer when I received the invoice. It was 15% more expensive. So,
Oh.
and the fact is, there's one company, Agossi Umicore, who is doing this, and everything is traceable. So that's fantastic for us.
So you can know from the places it's been recycled to your sourcing of the material where the gold is coming from and
Exactly.
what was its travel. Amazing. I'm wondering when you've been working on the gold and we've been working on the diamond, how you can still improve the supply chain and the sourcing of your materials. What do you do in terms of packaging? Because luxury is about a packaging culture, and packaging can end up in being waste or in being superfluous.
Yes. In the jewelry, it's quite easy. You've got gold, you've got diamonds, it's okay. And at the end, packaging was the most difficult thing to do. So we have recycled leather. It's organic tainted. It's in origami without glue,
Okay.
and so on. And it comes from Brittany. So, but
Okay.
it was so difficult to find and so expensive to do.
So you're talking about the price of having a supply chain that has got positive impact for the planet and for the people. But does it mean that the jewelry that you offer is more expensive than the one that you would find in other jewelry company?
No, no, because we are a DNVB, Digital Native Vertical Brand, so we go direct to consumer. That's very important. And in fact, the gold is more expensive. The packaging is more expensive. But this diamond is less expensive. It's less expensive not because it's less expensive to produce. At the contrary, it's 3 times more expensive to produce a diamond in the lab than to extract it. But we've got 1, 2, or 3 intermediaries on the lab ground side. When you've got 10 to 14 intermediaries in the mine diamonds, and don't forget that the mine diamonds, there's 6 companies in the world ruling 85% of this business from now 50 years. It's an oligopoly, so everything is well managed on this side. So no, we are as direct to consumer, less intermediaries, short circuits. We are less expensive.
Great. So I'm wondering because we haven't talked about where you were coming from. I think that you grew up in luxury brands doing traditional jewelry. So you got this idea when you saw the technological breakthrough of lab-grown diamond. Why didn't you develop this type of jewels within the brand you were working for, or why did you create your own brand?
In fact, sincerely, it's easier to do with a blank page than to transform a company doing this. And the fact is that this diamond, he emphasized the dark side of the other one. So it's quite complicated to have both of them in the same company. So we decided with Marianne to do a new brand, but just don't forget one thing, you know. And sometimes I'm using the metaphor of the food and saying when it's organic food and it's good and I eat quite well. But if it's not good and organic, I don't eat organic. And the jewelry is the same thing. It must be beautiful first, and then well done. Don't forget about the beauty on this side. And so with Marianne, we decided to create Courbet. It was easier because, as I told you, only gold, only diamonds. Let's go.
And so far, you've been launching this company, I think, about 2 years ago. What was the barriers and what are the driver of your development currently? How the consumer received these new value propositions, and how you managed to find your own identity within the high-end jewelry industry?
the fact is that we have a lot of competitors, not on this, but on the whole luxury business, of course, and they don't see us as a good news coming from La Place Vendôme. In fact, yes, but the fact is that we have to do a lot of education. The problem is that just imagine that we are the first organic diamond, and it's less expensive than its competitors. In general, it's the contrary. So just imagine the people say, no, it's not a diamond. It's not a real diamond. I'm sorry, it's a diamond. So
wasn't it Leonardo DiCaprio that invested in this type of solutions after the Blood
yes,
Diamond movie?
just after the Blood Diamond movies, he invest in a diamond foundry, which is in the US, is one of the biggest company to do diamonds, and we work a little bit with them. But you know, it's
With
super
Leonardo?
complete. Yeah,
Can you
with
present
no,
it to
we,
me? No?
with Diamond Foundry. Sorry, no, but you know what's it's crazy that it's very complicated to do diamonds, and to do a big beautiful diamonds, it's super complicated. And in fact, when we just reproduce the same condition, and the result at the end is not. It can be beautiful, but it can be also awful.
Okay, but so do you? Where can we see your jewels, and how can we hear a bit more about them?
We've got a stand here,
Okay.
but also we've got a big showroom in 7 Place Vendôme, and then a boutique in a big department store, Le Printemps, and on internet.
And I'm interested in knowing what type of customer are coming to your stores. Are there people that are really coming from the environmental transparency premise? Are they coming more for the jewel in itself? And
The first thing, of course, is environment.
yeah.
As you say, it wasn't easy in French.
Everyone is French, and we're speaking in English, so I think we need a bit of
Environnement.
support.
Environnement. No, thank you. No, it's no. They come from the for the ecology for this, of course. But after, it must be beautiful. We cannot deceive them and disappoint them.
And can we have any size of diamond? Are you limited in the size of diamonds that you can propose?
Today, we sold the biggest diamond produced. It was a 9 carat. 9 carat, I don't know, it's like this, okay? And this 9 carat, it was an e-color. It's a beautiful color, but it takes 1 year to grow. Not 1 year of culture, but it takes 3 failures and 1 success. So it's very complicated to do diamonds. And if I want a 9 carat diamond from mine, I've got 50 offers. In the lab grown, there's no more. Okay. So if someone wants a 9 carat, I'll tell him, okay, 6 months, 9, perhaps 1 year.
And I wanted to know, how do you see the thing moving ahead? Do you think that the sensitiveness of the consumer to ecological constraint and the fear of the climate warming and the ocean pollutions will drive the luxury sectors to push more environmental friendly solution, and that you will remain the challenger among the big jewelry company?
I think that the only way that these big companies goes in this way is the consumer. It's only if the consumer says, okay, guys, tell me, how do you do that? And so on. It will be this pressure that will change the things, of course. But today, as I see it, we are growing. It's crazy, really. So
you're growing crazy.
No. Really, it's just fantastic. So we only have 20 months of existence, and we just have a new fundraising about 10 million that we will announce in March. So we will develop the brand everywhere in the world. So that's quite crazy. Yes.
And so far, do you have an international reach, or are you mainly French?
Today mainly in French, because during these 20 months we try to test and learn everything, the brand, the concept, the products, and so on. Before launching it everywhere, we try to have all this experience.
I've got one question that is coming from our previous discussion with Back Market. They are recycling existing stone. Is it something that Courbet is open to do? Or if somebody is coming with a stone that has got a specific history to a family, then would you work with it? Or would
The fact is that if I don't know where it comes from, it's quite complicated for us. But just giving you an example, we already know that in 4 or 5 years we will contact each of our clients saying, okay, perhaps you get tired of your jewelry and perhaps it's in the drawer. Please take it back to us. We know where the gold come from, we know where the diamond come from, so we will create something that you like. And you will only pay the creation and the fabrication. That's all. But if you have this one.
That's very interesting to make a jewelry last using the same resources without drowning the planets. Well, do you have any questions? Does it raise anything among you?
Even in French. Huh?
Yeah, so maybe what I can invite you, one questions? Yeah. That's the question that I didn't dare asking, but...
Alors, the media, social media, of course, and PR as well. And the main message is to unify beauty and, how do you say, goodness?
And the goodness.
Yeah, we said, in French we said, sans le bien, le beau n'est rien. But we already know that also le beau doit être quand même là.
So I will think that you're going to hear quite a lot about Courbet in the next upcoming months. I invite you to look at any of the brands that came on talk about this product. I invite you to go on the website, learn a little bit more about what they do, what is their product, and how, for example, they can be maybe a solution for you to drive the change within your business. And thank you very much for your attention, and thank you very much for supporting your action.